Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, you're welcome again to another beautiful edition of my life. I come every evening at 8 p.m. Today, I'll be talking about mobilizing. Oh, looks like the lights are not, no, sorry, pardon me, I have the lights. Yes, you're welcome. I'll go right on. Now, today I'll be talking about there's one more thing that we need to do, and that is to mobilize. Now, what do I mean by that? We politicians, we know how to mobilize. When it's time to do something, you do not just speak. You do not just tell people go and do it. You have to mobilize people to do it. Now, when we talk of mobilizing people to do it, the first thing that comes to mind is that you give them resources. Yes, you give them resources, but much more than just giving resources. Mobilizing goes beyond just giving resources. That is, you help the people to coordinate themselves to go and do that which you are telling them to do. It is not enough that preachers of the gospel are preaching it. Teachers are teaching people what to do. Even the best of them, with good heart and everything, it is time to mobilize, to turn the big cathedral into a place where you mobilize people on how to go out. I have tried going out myself for many things, and I can tell you, that it's one of the most difficult things to do is to try and do it all by yourself. Even when it comes to doing business that you know that, okay, your livelihood depends on this and everything, when you have to do it, it's difficult. Talk less of when you have to do something that looks as if you can actually do away with, which is you want to do this for the sake of the kingdom, do this for the sake of God, do this because you love your country. And so tonight I'm talking about the fact that there is still one more thing to do. No matter how much you are preaching, no matter how much right now you are giving the word or doing so much, there's still one more thing you need to do. You must mobilize. If you do not mobilize, what happens oftentimes is that all that you are teaching seems to be coming in this way and going out that way. Or the people are internalizing, but they are not able to bring fruits. They're not able, you can't see the products out of what it is that they've been doing. So one more thing that is needed, as I'm saying this evening, is that you must add to all that you are doing, mobilizing. That means you must mobilize your people. So how are you going to mobilize? I'll talk about 3 to 4 points tonight. And the first thing is responsible handing over of resources. This, if you listen to me talk yesterday, this is part of what I said, is that you don't just give your resources. You also give of yourself. You give yourself with your resources so that your resources will go and do the work that you want it to do. You monitor that it goes to do it. But apart from that, in this instance, if for instance you are a GO, you are a general overseer, you are a bishop, you are over a big congregation, and you have different burdens. I listen to Apostle Selman, and anytime he talks about Nigeria, my heart leaps, because I know that you can see a man that is not only just talking on the pulpit, he's not only just teaching on the pulpit, he has a passion for his country, and the Lord is showing him things about Nigeria. Good, fantastic. At this stage, I'll say it is time for Apostle Selman, as an example, to mobilize his people to go and face that which is outside there. Okay, so I said the first thing is responsible handing over of resources. So there are these people in your church who are working on a solution to corruption, and they believe that this is what they need, that is what they need, to do it. They respect you so much. You are like God to them, and you are encouraging them and teaching them how to take their nation seriously, how to go out and do this and that. Now it is time to mobilize them to do it. You sit on them and coordinate them and watch them coordinate themselves so that they can go and do that which they have in their mind. So oftentimes, when you don't do that for them, eventually their dreams and their visions, they just fizzle out. They are not able to do it. So they need someone to coordinate them, which is you. So responsible handing over of resources. Then the provision of the resources itself. Now, I want to talk about what David did. David in the Bible did for Solomon. David had a burden to build the temple for the Lord. But for reasons best known to God, he said it. He said, because you have fought too many wars, I don't want you to build for me. But David still did not allow the burden to go, but he handed over the things he would have used to build the temple. The things that you would have used if you were the one to provide solution to national orientation in this country. That thing that you would have used if you were the one that's supposed to, if you were the one, you were not a preacher. You were not called to just stand there and preach. If you were not called to do that, what you would have done, what you would have put together to solve the problem of electricity. Lack of electricity. What you would have done to solve the problem of prostitution on our campuses because our girls don't have money. What you would have, money to fend for themselves. Any sphere of our society, what you would have used if you were the one that wanted to do this thing, you make the provision available for those who follow you. You mobilize them to do that which you would have done if not that you are called to do this thing. So I've said, one, responsible handling over of resources, and that you mobilize them to, just like David, you make provision for that which they are going to do. This is very, very important. Another thing that you will need to do is to allow them access. Allow them access to your network. See, sometimes it's not just about the money you have. It's not just about the money you have. I used an example of Apostle Selman. I can use the apostle of Pastor Jerry. These are two men that I know in this time that, from 2020 till now, they have been blazing, hot. You can see the hand of God powerfully working on them for the past few years. You know that, yes, these are this time preachers, and hopefully for a very long time too. Now, if they are to give access to their members, based on how they are grouped, to who they are in the society, to the network that they have, even the ones they've not networked already, people who know them, people who respect them, even when they never met. These two men, for instance, and many other men of God, if they put a call across to the villa and say they want to bring some young guys who want to solve the problem of this, the doors will be flung open. The network that they have, they must allow those who follow them, those who they are coordinating, to have access to their network. It is important because this network is far higher than money. These are resources that are higher than money. And the people that you are going to coordinate, they will need everything. I will I will remind us of the story of when Jesus was doing the miracle of 5,000. There are some simple things there, but very key that you must note. You see, when the disciples discovered that the people were hungry, they told Jesus, please let's let them go so that they can go and find food. It's easier for everybody to go and find their food than you trying to provide food for them. And Jesus said, because they had been with us for this long, they must be tired. Sending them to go and get food is difficult. This is one of the reasons why our people in church do not excel outside as they should in the field of business, in the field, I know some of us excel, I'm just saying, in the field of politics, in the field of sports, in these different fields. Because if they truly spend enough time coming to church and doing all the work in the church, and then, you know, like 3 times a week they come to church, and then they fill their time and everything with work, sometimes to also have that same energy to go and plan what they are going to do is difficult. That's why Jesus said, they have listened to us for this many days. They must be tired. We need to provide for them. And so this is one of the reasons why they must be provided for. And you are in the best of place to provide for them. You who they are looking up to, you'll be in the best place to provide for them. So in that story, where I'm going to, is the fact that at that point, Jesus now said, now, when he said, what do you have? And they said they have 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread. He said, good, bring them. Now, organize the people. Let them sit down in 50s. Now, this is one of the most important aspects of mobilization. Helping to coordinate your people. Help them to divide into different spheres and different assignments that they want to. Oversee they are doing it. Because if they do not settle, you see, that sitting down will look like big deal. Okay, sit down and let's share the food. Without the sitting down, proper sitting down of those people, the sharing of that food might not, the miracle might not have worked and been complete. Because by the time they sat down in 12s or in 50s, when they will put a lump here, that one will grow into something, then it will be broken, and it will go to the next one, will be broken, and it will go to the next one. That was very important to Jesus, and it must be important to you. In mobilizing the people under you, in mobilizing the people that you have not gone out for, but you want to go out and disciple right now. You want to go out and influence right now. You must have in mind that one of the things you will need to do is to arrange them into groups. So that which you are going to provide, that which God is going to pass through you to them, resources so that they can go and do that which they are called to do, may not waste and may not cause a stampede. It may sound funny, right? But in the Bible, we have that example. That stampede, we have that example. When, even though it will seem like, it's because Elisha caused the man. The man that said, even if windows of heaven should open, how will we have petrol to be selling at 50 naira tomorrow? How can we have a bag of rice to be selling at 200 naira tomorrow or 2,000 naira? It's not possible. Even if the windows of heaven should open, it cannot happen. As soon as he said it, Elisha said to him, it will happen, you will see it, but you will not eat out of it. Now, that curse was there, but minus the curse is the fact that even though the next day the miracle was expected, it had already been prophesied. Nobody did that which Jesus said before that miracle will happen, before the intervention of God will happen. When God wants to do something mighty, as he wants to do in Nigeria, one of the most important things that must happen is that, first and foremost, arrange the people. In mobilizing people, one of the key things you must do is to put them in groups. Is to put them, okay, these ones, they want to face sports. They want to go into sports as you know, this sphere of sports as a means to reaching Nigerians' hearts and making Nigeria to unify, or whatever the vision is. They want to go to education, and this is what they want to do with our young ones. This is what they want to do with those in secondary school. This is what they want to do with those in university. They just want to face education. And these ones are going to face business, financing. They want to be the biggest provider of jobs in Nigeria, and they are giving themselves a 10-year plan. This is how they are going to do it. This is what they want to do. Set them in groups, in 50s, in 30s. So mobilization will include setting them, arranging them, having a structure, having a system that will make things go smoothly. Having that system is as key as releasing money. For releasing money, releasing your resources, opening your network for them. Just merely arranging them into structure. Arrange that which they want to do and which you want to do with them into structure, into systems. It is then that the flow of that which God is bringing into your hands, or bringing through your hands to them, and from them to the world, is going to have the best, the best, the most benefits that you are looking for. And that is it this evening. I have been able to share with you that no matter what it is you have done right now, no matter what you are doing up till now, you must add to that thing mobilizing, as in you must mobilize your people as an army to go and face whatever it is they want to face. It is time to mobilize the people, not only with finances. You must mobilize them with your person. You must mobilize them with your network. You must make available the resources they need so that they can go and fight where necessary. They can go and, you know, make peace where necessary. They can go and release that which you have put inside of them anywhere and everywhere they are called to. Thank you very much again this evening. It's been my pleasure. Join me again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you.